I stare at Vaughn's email login page. Breaking federal law feels surprisingly easy at 3 a.m. The password takes 3 tries. Vanessa 2024. Predictable. Arrogant. The same combination of traits that made him think he could take everything from me 2 days earlier. The truffle risotto simmered, each stir a meditation. Vanessa loves it when I cook. Says it reminds her why she said yes. I check my watch, 6:45 p.m. She should be home in 15 minutes, just enough time to plate and pour the Bordeaux she's been saving. My phone buzzes. Her face lights up the screen, that candid shot from our engagement party. Hey, beautiful. Ethan. Her voice carries that familiar strain. I'm so sorry, but I need to stay late. Wedding stuff, you know? The planner's only free now, and the risotto will keep, I lie, watching it congeal. Tomorrow? You're the best! Love you! The call ends before I can respond. I dump the risotto into the trash, the wine following in a crimson stream. On my desk, wedding invitation drafts mock me. Cream cardstock, gold foil, promises in calligraphy. I should have known better. Vanessa hates truffles. Earlier that day, Vaughn caught me before lunch. Cole, join me at La Maison? His treat, always his treat. The mentor showing his protégé the finer things. Can't today, sir. Quarterly reports? Those can wait. He claps my shoulder, his Patek Philippe glinting. We need to discuss your future. La Maison's private booth feels like a confessional. Vaughn orders without looking at the menu. He's been coming here longer than I've been in finance. You're ready? He says, swirling his scotch. Senior VP positions opening up, Schmidt's retiring. My fork freezes halfway to my mouth. That's 2 levels above? You've earned it. His smile doesn't reach his eyes. The board meeting's next month. I'll put your name forward. Sir, I don't know what to say. Say you'll stop calling me sir. Richard, please? He leans back, studying me. How's the wedding planning? Good. Vanessa's handling most of it. I force a smile. She's meeting the planner tonight, actually. Something flickers across his face, too quick to catch. Lucky man, beautiful woman, brilliant mind. Don't let her slip away. The scotch in his glass catches the light, amber turning to blood. Back home, I stare at the invitation drafts. Vanessa's handwriting curves across the samples. Mr. and Mrs. Ethan Cole request the pleasure of your company. My phone pings. A text from Mark in security. Camera 3's acting up again. Parking garage feeds glitching. I delete it without responding. Mark usually can't get a hold of Jason, head of IT, who's a close friend of mine, so he thinks it's okay to use me as a middleman. On my laptop, the quarterly reports wait. The ones Vaughn said could wait. I open them, numbers swimming before my eyes. The trash can still smells of truffles and wine. I grab the invitation drafts, ready to add them to the waste. But stop. Something about the handwriting catches my eye. The curve of the V in Vanessa, the way the Y trails off. It matches the signature on Vaughn's reports perfectly. She's been practicing his handwriting. I set the drafts down carefully, precisely. The gold foil catches the light like his watch, like his scotch, like warnings I should have seen. My phone buzzes again. Vanessa. Don't wait up. So much to plan? I save the message, file it away with the others, and I begin to plan too. Mark's text about the garage camera glitch nags at me. 3 weeks of technical issues, always between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. I pull up the phone records I shouldn't have access to. Being friends with head of IT has its advantages. The pattern emerges like a serpent. Calls to Vaughn's private line, always after hours, always deleted from her call log. The parking garage feels colder at night. I slouch in my car, laptop balanced on the steering wheel, cycling through security feeds. Camera 3 crackles with static, but camera 4 works fine. Its angle captures the executive parking spaces perfectly. 7:42 p.m. Vanessa's Tesla pulls in beside Vaughn's Audi. My fingers hover over the keyboard. Don't look, some things you can't unsee, but I press play. The footage is crisp, clinical. Vanessa steps out first, wedding planner binder clutched to her chest. Vaughn follows minutes later. They meet between the cars, hidden from camera 3 but perfectly framed in 4's lens. He touches her cheek. She leans in. The binder falls. Their kiss isn't passionate or desperate. It's comfortable, practiced, routine. "You're sure he doesn't suspect?" Vaughn's voice carries through the garage's empty acoustics. Vanessa laughs. That soft, throaty sound I thought was mine. "Ethan? He's too busy worshiping you to notice." I taught him everything. Vaughn pulls her closer. "Except how to keep you." The laptop screen cracks under my grip. I force my fingers to relax, watching them disappear into his car. Camera 3 conveniently dies. I save the footage to an encrypted drive. The timestamp burns. February 16th, 2025. The day my mentor became my mark. Back home, Vanessa's perfume lingers in our closet. I find her wedding planner buried under winter sweaters. Inside, guest lists and venue photos hide something else. Hotel receipts, dinner reservations for 2. A post-it in Vaughn's handwriting. "Same time next week, V." I place everything back exactly as I found it. The planner, the receipts, my broken trust. In the bathroom mirror, my reflection splinters across the glass. I understand now why Vaughn always said business is built on leverage. Time to learn what else my mentor hasn't taught me. I text Jason. "Camera 3 needs fixing. Make it permanent." His reply comes instantly. "Already done, boss." I smile. It feels like breaking. Monday morning. I straighten my Hermes tie. Vaughn's brand, his taste. My reflection shows nothing. No rage, no betrayal. Just another ambitious executive ready for the 9 a.m. meeting. Perfect. The engagement ring sits heavy in my desk drawer, nestled among paper clips and broken promises. Vanessa doesn't know I found it in the shower drain this morning. "A accident while cleaning," she'll say. I close the drawer softly. Click. "Cole!" Vaughn's voice booms across the conference room. "Those quarterly projections ready?" I slide the folder across polished mahogany. "Complete analysis, sir, including contingencies for the Meyer account." "I know where you were last night. I know about the Ritz-Carlton, room 1504. "Excellent work." He flips through pages I spent all night preparing, his wedding band catching fluorescent light. "This is why you're my best. Your best student, your best employee, your best fool." The other VPs file in. I note their weaknesses, their allegiances. Harrison drinks too much. Peter skims from expense accounts. All leverage, all useful. "Ethan?" Vanessa appears in the doorway, clutching fresh contracts. Our eyes meet. "The Morrison paperwork needs your signature." Her lipstick is smudged. Slightly, imperceptibly, unless you're looking for it. "Of course." My smile feels like glass. "Richard, would you mind?" "Go ahead." Vaughn waves, already deep in my report. "Outstanding work on the risk assessment, by the way." You have no idea what risk looks like. In the hallway, Vanessa touches my arm. "Dinner tonight? I'll cook." "Can't, working late." The same lie she feeds me. "Big plans to prepare." Her face falls. "The wedding?" Something like that. Back at my desk, I open a new spreadsheet. Not for financials, for revenge. Column A, Vaughn's vulnerabilities. Column B, timeline. Column C, collateral damage. The ring in my drawer gleams. I should throw it away, but it's evidence. Everything's evidence now. My phone buzzes. A text from Vaughn. "Drinks later? Need to discuss Schmidt's position." I reply, "Honored sir, the mask stays perfect. The plan grows. In my spreadsheet, I add access to private server. Security footage backed up. Meeting recordings archived. The engagement ring catches light like a tear, like a warning. Like the future I'm dismantling piece by piece." I text back, "What time?" 7 p.m. La Maison. Perfect. Everything's perfect now. My smile, my work, my revenge. The mask never slips. I stare at Vaughn's email login page. Breaking federal law feels surprisingly easy at 3 a.m. The password takes 3 tries. Vanessa 2024. Predictable, arrogant. The same combination of traits that made him think he could take everything from me. The inbox loads thousands of messages, meticulously sorted. Vaughn always preached organization. Control your data, control your destiny. I start with the personal folder. Sarah from accounting, 2023. Jennifer in legal, 2022. A pattern emerges in deleted items. Hotel confirmations, private dinner reservations, NDAs buried in HR files. All young, ambitious, all promoted shortly before their resignations. Vanessa isn't special. She's just the latest. My hands shake as I download everything to an encrypted drive. Each file could mean prison time, but they're also ammunition. I create folders. Financial records, meeting recordings, private correspondence, hotel receipts. The evidence builds like a prosecution's dream, or a blackmailer's treasure chest. I need distance, anonymity. Using my work laptop feels amateur. I set up a new system. Burner laptop, paid cash, public Wi-Fi only. VPN routing through servers in different countries. The anonymous email account comes next. No phone verification, no recovery options, just a ghost in the system, watching, gathering, waiting. A new message from Vanessa pops up in Vaughn's inbox. Missing you already. Last night was perfect. I save it, file it, add it to the growing arsenal. The sun rises as I catalog his sins. Each piece of evidence carefully time-stamped, backed up, secured. My phone buzzes. Vanessa, wondering why I left early. I ignore it. My anonymous account sends its first message to a dummy address. Test. February 16th, 2025. The day everything changes. The office wakes up around me. I hear Vaughn's voice in the hallway, laughing with the board members. My screen shows his private calendar. Lunch with Vanessa at La Maison, their usual table. I add it to the evidence folder. Click, save, archive. Every digital footprint tells a story. His, hers. Soon, everyone will know it. My phone buzzes again. Vaughn this time. Quarterly review at 2. Bring the Meyer projections. I minimize his emails, hiding them behind spreadsheets and profit margins. The encrypted drive weighs heavy in my pocket, full of secrets that could destroy careers, including mine, if anyone discovers what I've done. But that's the beauty of digital evidence. It's always there, waiting to be found by someone who knows where to look. And Vaughn taught me too well. I send one last anonymous email to myself. Phase 1 complete. Evidence secured. Begin surveillance. The office hums with mundane activity. No one notices that their digital lives are being archived, analyzed, weaponized. They don't see me watching through cameras, reading their messages, building my case. Vaughn walks past my office, nodding approvingly at my apparent dedication to work. If he only knew what I was actually dedicated to. I close his email, clearing my tracks. The evidence is secured, the foundation laid. Now comes the waiting, the watching, the slow, methodical destruction of everything he built. My anonymous account blinks, message sent successfully. The game begins. The Meyer account is Vaughn's pet project, his golden ticket to the board. I find the error in his projections at midnight, buried in cell F394. A decimal point. Small. Devastating. I could tell him, warn him about the millions it'll cost. Instead, I create a paper trail. Email to Vaughn. Sir, should we double-check the Meyer calculations? His response? Trust my numbers, Cole. Focus on Schmidt's transition. I save it, print it, add it to my growing file. 3 weeks later, the Meyer account implodes. The boardroom crackles with tension as Vaughn stammers through explanations. I found the error, I announce, sliding over my analysis. If we restructure now, we can minimize damage. Vaughn's relief is palpable. This is why I'm grooming you for leadership. The board members nod. I've saved the day, the perfect protégé. If they looked closer, they'd see my fingerprints on every crisis and solution. Vanessa corners me in the break room. You're different lately. Busy, I say, stirring coffee I won't drink. Schmidt's position, remember? No, it's... She studies my face. You're calmer. Focused. I'm focused on destroying everything you love. Just learning from the best. I kiss her cheek, breathing in Vaughn's cologne. Speaking of, dinner at La Maison tonight? Richard invited us? Her smile falters. Both of us? Of course, my mentor, my fiancé, my two favorite people. La Maison's private booth feels like an interrogation room. Vanessa picks at her salad while Vaughn dominates the conversation. I play my part, the admiring employee, the devoted fiancé. The Meyer save was brilliant, Vaughn says, swirling his scotch. You're exceeding expectations. You have no idea what I'm capable of. Learned from you, sir. I raise my glass to mentorship. Vanessa's hand trembles on her wine stem. I cover it with mine, feeling her pulse race. The wedding plan's coming along? Vaughn asks too casually. Perfectly. I squeeze Vanessa's hand. Though I barely see her these days, always working late, right, honey? She chokes on her wine. You should join us sometime, Richard. The planning sessions, since you're practically family. Vaughn's smile cracks, just slightly. I wouldn't want to impose... Nonsense. Vanessa's there so late anyway. What's another opinion? Under the table, her nails dig into my palm. Actually, I continue, weren't you meeting the planner tonight, dear? She looks at Vaughn, then me. Rescheduled. Shame. I signal for more wine. Richard, your insight would be invaluable. You have excellent taste. The tension thickens. I savor it like the overpriced scotch. To the happy couple, Vaughn manages, raising his glass. I memorize their expressions, his forced smile, her concealed panic. More evidence, more ammunition. Back home, Vanessa confronts me. What was that about? What? At dinner, you were... strange. I loosen my tie. Vaughn's brand, always his brand. Strange how? The wedding planner comments, asking Richard to join. Shouldn't my mentor be involved? I pull her close, feeling her stiffen. After all, he's taught me everything. She pushes away. You're scaring me. Why? I'm just being the perfect employee, the perfect fiancé. I smile, empty as a balance sheet. Isn't that what everyone wants? She locks herself in the bathroom. I hear her phone buzz, probably Vaughn, demanding explanations. I add dinner's recordings to my files, label them, date them. Perfect evidence from the perfect employee. A spider builds its web in my office window, methodical and patient. I watch it between meetings, admiring its technique. Strand by strand, connection by connection. Just like I'm doing with Vaughn's investors. Harrison's first. Lunch at his club, just us and his alcoholic paranoia. The Meyer account, I mention casually, watching him drain his third martini. Interesting decimal point error. Vaughn's mistake? He leans forward, jowls quivering. Board wasn't told. Oh? I sip water, staying sharp. I assumed everyone knew. The documentation's quite clear. I slide him a folder. Emails, projections. Vaughn's dismissal of my warnings. All technically true, all perfectly damning. Keep this between us, I add. Loyalty, you know? Harrison nods, tucking the folder away. The web grows. Peter's next. Coffee in his office, where he skims company funds. Interesting expense reports crossed my desk, I say. La Maison, the Ritz-Carlton, all approved by Vaughn. Business meetings, Peters mutters. Of course, though the timestamps, late nights, weekend brunches with junior staff, his eyes narrow. HR should know. They do. I pass him documents, NDAs, sudden resignations, suspicious promotions. They're quite thorough in their filing. The spider adds another strand. Board member Sandra Chen proves trickier. She's sharp, suspicious. Why tell me this, Ethan? We're in her corner office, overlooking the city. I play the concerned subordinate perfectly. Professional integrity, I lie. The Schmidt position. It needs someone trustworthy. Unlike Vaughn, I hesitate, as if struggling with loyalty. I've noticed patterns, concerning ones. The folder I give her is thicker. Financial discrepancies, hidden accounts, affairs with employees. Each page a silk strand in my web. "This stays between us," she says. Of course. Back in my office, the spider's web gleams complete. Beautiful, deadly. My phone buzzes with meeting requests. Board members wanting private discussions. Vaughn strides in, confident as ever. "Cole, Chen seemed impressed with you." "Just maintaining relationships, sir." "That's my boy." He claps my shoulder. "Schmidt's position is practically yours." I smile, thinking of the web tightening around him. "Thanks to your mentoring." My laptop dings. New email from Harrison to the board. Concerns regarding Meyer account oversight. Another from Peters. Request for audit of executive expenses. Chen's message follows. Emergency board meeting called for Friday. Vaughn's phone buzzes. His smile falters reading the notifications. "Problem, sir?" "Nothing serious," but his hand shakes slightly. "Just some questions from the board." "Need me to prepare anything?" No, routine inquiry." He straightens his tie. Nervous tell. "Dinner tonight? You and Vanessa?" "Can't. She's with the wedding planner." I pause. "Unless you've heard differently?" He leaves quickly, already dialing, probably warning Vanessa. My anonymous email account sends final confirmations. Meeting recordings uploaded, financial documents backed up, HR files secured. The spider catches a fly, wrapping it slowly. I watch the struggle, appreciating the artistry. Vanessa calls. I let it ring. Another email from Chen. "Vaughn requesting emergency meeting. Your evidence is compelling." I forward more files, more strands. The fly stops struggling. The anonymous tips begin at midnight, precise, coordinated. Each board member receives a different piece of the puzzle. To Harrison, check Vaughn's private server. Password, Vanessa 2024. To Peters, La Maison security footage, table 9, last 6 months. To Chen, HR complaints, sealed files 2022 to 2024. I watch their email receipts ping back. Read, read, read. The spider's web in my window catches moonlight. Time to see what breaks first. Sarah from accounting finds me at the coffee machine. Her hands shake. "The board contacted me," she whispers. "About Richard. About what happened in 2023. I keep my face neutral. "Oh?" "Someone sent them the NDA, the hotel receipts." Her voice cracks. "They know everything." "That must be difficult," I say, stirring coffee I won't drink. "Speaking of NDAs, how's your new position at Goldman?" Her eyes widen. "I shouldn't know that." "Vaughn's recommendation helped, I assume?" She flees. Another strand tightens. Jennifer from legal corners me next. Then Maria from operations. Each with similar stories. Each realizing they weren't special, weren't alone. My phone buzzes constantly. "Vaughn, emergency meeting now." "Vanessa, we need to talk." She finally realized that I know everything. "Board secretary, please prepare documentation for Friday." I answer none. Vanessa finds me in my office. Her mascara's smeared, hands trembling. "It's over," she says. "With Richard, I ended it." I keep typing, eyes on the screen. Interesting timing. "Ethan, please, I'm sorry. Too late for sorry." She freezes. "What?" I turn, finally meeting her gaze. "Did you end it because you're sorry or because the board's investigating him?" Her face crumples. "How did you—" "No." I pull up the La Maison footage on my screen. Table 9, your usual spot. Very romantic. "Oh, God." She collapses into a chair. "How long?" "Long enough." I return to typing. "The Ritz-Carlton keeps excellent records. I'll explain everything." "To the board?" I smile, cold as a balance sheet. "I'm sure they'd love to hear it." She runs out sobbing. I add the conversation recording to my files. Vaughn bursts in next, tie askew. "Cole, the board." Accusations. I saw the emails, I say smoothly. Quite concerning. It's a witch hunt. I need you to… Support you? Of course. I pull up documents. Though these expense reports are troubling. His face pales. Where did you get those? I'm thorough, sir. You taught me that. He studies me, realization dawning. It was you. I'm just the perfect employee. I stand, straightening my tie. His brand, always his brand. Learning from the best. I made you? No, I say softly. You taught me. There's a difference. He leaves without another word. Through my window, I watch him rush to his car. Vanessa waits in the parking garage, but he drives past her. My phone lights up with a final email from Chen. Board meeting moved up. Tomorrow. Bring everything. I send one last anonymous tip. Check room 1504, Ritz-Carlton. Ask for the regular guest list. The spider in my window has caught another fly. The boardroom gleams like a crime scene. I arrange the evidence folders methodically, one for each board member, color-coded tabs marking Vaughn's destruction. Chen arrives first, then Harrison, Peters, the others filing in with grim expressions. Their faces reflect in the glass walls, multiplying the judgment. Vaughn strides in last, Vanessa trailing behind. His confidence wavers when he sees the folders. Before we begin, Chen says, we have testimonies to hear. Sarah from accounting enters first. Her voice stays steady as she describes the affair, the promotion, the NDA. Jennifer from legal follows. Then Maria. Each story mirrors the others, a pattern of predation wrapped in mentorship. Vaughn's tie grows crooked as he shifts in his chair. These allegations are documented. I interrupt, sliding forward hotel receipts. La Maison, Table 9, the Ritz-Carlton, Room 1504. Your personal server password, Vanessa 2024. The color drains from his face. Miss Chen, I continue. You'll find the financial discrepancies on page 3. Mr. Harrison, the Meyer account documentation is tabbed in red. Vanessa stares at her hands, engagement ring catching fluorescent light. This is a witch hunt, Vaughn snarls. Cole, after everything I taught you? You taught me well. I pull up the security footage. Perhaps too well. The garage video plays. Their kiss, their comfort, their betrayal. I taught him everything, Vaughn's recorded voice echoes. Except how to keep you. Vanessa bursts into tears. The board watches, stone-faced. HR will process your termination immediately, Chen tells her. Please leave. She runs out, heels clicking a retreat. Vaughn stands, straightening his crooked tie. The Meyer account was a simple error. Which Mr. Cole warned you about, Harrison interjects. We have the emails. The women came to me. After systematic grooming, Peters adds, the promotion patterns are clear. I stay silent, watching my mentor drown in evidence. He taught me to build cases, to gather leverage, to strike when opponents are weakest. The board will vote now, Chen announces. Those in favor of immediate termination? Hands rise, unanimous. Richard Vaughn, you are hereby terminated from all positions within this company. Security appears at the door. Vaughn looks at me, really looks, for the first time. You planned this, all of it. I straighten my tie. His brand, always his brand. You taught me everything. Mr. Cole, Chen says as Vaughn is escorted out. The board would like to discuss your promotion to CEO. I accept with perfect humility, perfect grace. Through the glass walls, I watch Vaughn empty his office. He leaves his Patek Philippe on the desk, a final lesson in timing. I trace Vaughn's nameplate before maintenance removes it. The letters feel like braille under my fingers. A story of power and failure. My new one arrives in a velvet box. Ethan Cole, Chief Executive Officer. The office still smells like his cologne. I don't change anything yet. The victory needs to settle first. His Patek Philippe sits on the desk where he left it. I slip it on, a perfect fit. My phone hasn't stopped buzzing. Vanessa's calls, texts, emails pile up like bodies after a war. I let them accumulate, evidence of desperation. She finds me anyway. "Please," she says from the doorway. Her mascara smeared, designer dress wrinkled. "Just let me explain." I keep signing documents, termination papers, ironically. "Security will escort you out." "Ethan?" She steps inside, closing the door. "I made a mistake." "Several." I don't look up. "Over many months, in room 1504, she flinches. "I never meant." "To get caught?" Now I meet her eyes. "Or to back the wrong horse?" Her hands twist together, engagement ring catching light. "I loved you." Past tense, interesting choice. Love you, present tense. She moves closer. "We can fix this." I stand, adjusting Vaughn's watch on my wrist. "Can we?" "Yes, I'll do anything. Couples therapy, whatever you want." "What I want?" I circle the desk slowly. "What I want is for you to understand something." She backs up as I approach until she hits the glass wall. The city spreads below us, uncaring. "You always wanted a man with power," I say softly. "You just bet on the wrong one." Her eyes widen. "You knew? All along?" "I learned from the best." I straighten my tie. Vaughn's brand, still his brand. "He taught me everything, including how to destroy him." "This was all planned? The evidence, the board meeting?" "Every detail." I return to my desk. "You should go. Your severance paperwork needs signing." "Ethan, please." "Security will escort you." I press the intercom. "We're done here." She throws her engagement ring on my desk. It rolls to a stop beside Vaughn's watch. "You've become him," she whispers. I smile, cold as a balance sheet. "No, I've surpassed him." The maintenance worker arrives with my nameplate. I watch him remove Vaughn's, the screw holes like bullet wounds in the door. "Centered, please," I instruct. The new plate gleams. Ethan Cole, CEO. Perfect, like revenge, like victory. My phone buzzes one last time. A text from Vaughn. "You learned well." I save it, file it, add it to the evidence I'll never need again. Through my window, the spider's web hangs empty. Its work, like mine, is done.